Okay, ladies, so all I can say about this podcast episode is that it's fucking amazing, and you will be dying laughing because I was dying, like, whilst I was listening to this, just, like, pissing myself laughing. Britt and I are so funny. Like, we were on the phone this morning and we were both just like, damn, we are so good at our jobs. And we were just like having a moment to reflect on, like, we don't give ourselves that credit of, like, we are so fucking magical. And then Britt was like, we should just basically have a magazine and we should be on the front cover of it every month. And I'm like, yep, I'm here for it. So with that, I'm just going to jump straight into this podcast episode because it is so fucking good with Britt. Guys, do not forget that you've got 1 day left. We close tomorrow, MMM level 1 and 2. If you want to join, it before tomorrow, you will then be able to come to the live Zoom Q&A call, which you do not want to miss because it'll be so juicy and you guys are going to be getting all the Italy vibes. Duh. And then also, some of you have already asked about the next round of Queen Alchemy. There's a waitlist for it that you can join so you don't miss out on the next round. And then also same with Baba 2.0, feminine business stuff, coaching, etc., sensuality, and tying that all into business stuff. So you are making all the money with all the ease, with all the deliciousness. I'm going to put the waitlist in the description. Well, Shelby will, in the description, so you can check that out. Do not hesitate. And yeah, we will see you soon. Have fun. One quick thing as well, ladies, is this was recorded mid-April when I was like coming out of Corona. So it's a bit out of date, but it's still very relatively fucking hilarious.
Hello and welcome to the Feminine as Fuck podcast. I'm your host, Monica Yates, a period and ICF certified women's life coach, and I help women to harness the power of their period and connect to their feminine flow. In these episodes, we will be talking about all things periods, hormones, confidence, health, food, money, sex, business, feminine flow, your brain, energy, and all the stuff that goes through our heads. You will walk away from each episode with new chicken nuggets and truth bombs, as I don't have a filter and I love talking about all the shit that people are thinking but too afraid to say.
I think my UTI is like, and I'm getting another course of antibiotics today, but I think it's like getting worse and my throat's gotten worse this morning and I'm like, fuck my dick.
Yeah, it would be. It would be for sure.
Mum's like, suck on that fucking honey.
But Mum, that's not the only thing I've been sucking on.
Oh, Britt.
Sorry, not really. There was
actually not recently, not since New York. No. Okay. How are you doing?
I'm
writing
good.
down some notes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Life's good. Life's chill.
Life's chill. You still at the beach?
Pardon?
You still at the beach?
I'm still up at the coast.
Amazing. So what are you drinking?
Water with some oils in it because I am so bloated right now. It's insane.
Fuck, I hate that.
I know.
Is it like stress, do you reckon? I get so bloated when I'm stressed.
A little bit, but to be honest, I would love to say it's stress, but my sister made homemade pizzas. So that's it.
There's the culprit.
There's a culprit right there.
Pizzas.
Like, oh, this hurts.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, cool. Well, should we just jump in? Start talking?
Let's dive in.
What should we talk about?
Well, can we please talk about Love is Blind?
Oh, yes. Okay. So what are your thoughts on that show? This is good.
I hated it. This might be an unpopular opinion or verdict or whatever.
I'm the queen of unpopular opinions. We're here for it.
Far out. I hated it so much. It was just like, do you know what? I was thinking about this, right? I fully believe that when you are put in an environment where the intention is to find love, you will find love. Because
of course, like your reticular activating system's fucking looking for it.
Exactly. And then going through the episodes and just seeing how toxic people are for each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they're just trying to make something fit for the sake of making it fit. But then at the same time, that's what so many people do in their relationships anyway.
I know. Yeah, I only watched it. I heard people talking about it and I just thought that just sounds like a fucking dumb show. Like it just sounds boring and stupid. And then I was in New York and it was when Shelby came and I don't know how we got on the topic of talking about it. And Shelby was like, oh yeah, I watched it. Let's watch it. So we sat down to watch it together, and I literally remember, like, within 20 minutes turning to her and being like, this shit is crap. And she was like, you know what? I actually didn't realize how bad it was until I was rewatching it now. It's like a really bad show. I'm like halfway through and I just like couldn't finish it because it was just so shitty. But for me, I think what I like about the show is it probably brings awareness to the fact that, like, it's important that you aren't just focused on the physical attributes of a person, that you can fall in love with someone's emotional intelligence and personality, and it makes them more attractive as a person. I fully believe in that 1,000%. But for me personally, and it could just be because my Venus is in Scorpio, but who the fuck knows? I really need that initial chemistry when I look at someone. Like, I'm a very visual person, and I'm just not somebody where I could get to know the person and then put aside the fact if they were like really not my type. Like, you guys know I really have a fucking type, and I can't go for a dude that's not my type, you know, like it just like doesn't happen. So for me, it's actually really important, the physical side of things. So I could never do that, because I would be the chick where I may fall in love with the person's voice and whatever in the box, but as soon as I would see them, if they were ugly, I'd actually just, my whole pussy would just be like shut down. I'd be like, nope, sorry, and turn around and walk back into those doors.
So you're basically, what's that chick that had the long blonde hair as well? What was her name? I can't remember. She bored the shit out of me though.
Married, she was so annoying. Married or engaged, I don't know what happened. I didn't watch the rest of it. The shorter dude, Mark, I think was his name.
Yes, that one. Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed this, but her voice changed when she would be talking to the guys. She'd be like, oh my God, like, hi.
Oh yeah, she was not a vibe. But also American accents shoved in there, which, no offense, not a vibe.
Not a vibe. But then, yeah, and then it's like she has her interview on and she's like, yeah, and she just was like so much more herself. I was like, this is so cringe.
I did not like her one bit. She was super annoying. Who did I actually – I didn't mind the really like girl next door chick that – what's the name? What's his name?
Bennett and whatever her name was.
Oh, yeah. Was his name Bennett or –
yeah.
Okay. That the long blonde haired chick actually really, really liked.
Oh, you mean the one that had the – like she was like Hispanic or something, or Puerto Rican?
Yeah, not that girl though. There was another. So he had kind of three choices. That was it. Her name Rachel, the blonde hair chick, and then there was like the ex-military chick.
Yeah, which is
who he chose. And then there was another girl that was like very down to earth, like not a fuck ton of makeup, like curly brown hair.
Oh, LC.
Yes, I didn't mind her from what I saw. Yeah, but all the other girls I found super annoying, and it was just really interesting when, I mean, obviously it's a TV show, right? So they curate it how they want to. But what we could see, there was one relationship with like that really short brown hair woman, and the husband or partner was kind of like a little bit redhead. They, I thought, had a really beautiful relationship. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like he had like the beard and like the fair hair.
Yeah, but not that rangery fair hair one that went with the blonde chick.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she was the one that was like shorter with the long brown hair.
Yeah, so from what I can see, they seemed like, well, at least I didn't see a ton of toxic patterns between them two.
No, but then she was too toxic herself and found that it wasn't enough for her. Like it wasn't.
Oh, I see. I didn't watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ended up being committed to the entire experience and I regretted it, but I couldn't
what a waste of your life.
It was actually very much.
Anyway, it was interesting to just see like some toxic fucking patterns. And I'm just like, guys, you think that you are in a place where you want to all of a sudden get married within like 1 second? Like,
I know.
I just don't understand some people. I'm just like, you need time. You need to work through your shit. Like, anyway. So I personally think that Love is Blind show is a pile of shit. And I think we've been really fucking honest. I mean, if any of you listening or Britt, if you could honestly say that there is not 1% of you that cares about the person, like the person's looks, like, I would love to know that, because that to me is very interesting. But I think we can all agree that there is an element of looks, because it's our biology. Like, we want to be, our dude needs to look like he can protect us and provide for us. And obviously if you're in a same-sex relationship, like all that sort of stuff. So I really think that like there is a big component in a relationship of a looks thing, 100%, especially for a woman. Like, I want a dude that's taller than me and bigger than me and that can fucking fight off the bad guy.
It's all part of, like, it's the recipe. It's like it's an ingredient to make everything really like good. But do you know what? In saying that though, like over the course of my time and being in different relationships, that I've noticed like I had this type and what I wanted, but then what I actually end up finding attractive is very different as well. So it's about like
trial and error, totally.
Trial and error, yes, but at the same time it's all about the experience of a certain person, because a certain person and their charisma and putting everything together, that all brings it together quite often. But there obviously still has to be that like initial attraction that isn't maybe always what you think it's going to be, right?
Totally.
Like you look at someone, you'd be like, no, and then you start chatting to them, you're like, oh my God, I find you really sexy.
Yes. But you're not like, 100%, because like there's dudes where, you know, I'll meet them and it's like, okay. And then as soon as like we actually start developing a relationship, I'm like, I want to rip your fucking clothes off. But there was still, it wasn't like I looked at him and was like, your butt fucking ugly. Cause then that would just shut me down. Or it was like, I wouldn't, like if I was in a relationship where there was great chemistry, but every time I looked at him, I was just like, I don't know. Like that's not okay for me. That's not okay.
No. But each their own. People might value other things more than
totally.
that,
as we said, my Venus is in Scorpio, so
mine is in Aries. So I'm a Sun Aries, and that's in Aries as well. So that's a good time.
Did you see, I need to send you this video. Maybe I sent it to you already. Amy sent me a video last night of all the different signs in lockdown. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, you sent it to me and I saw it the other day. It's so funny.
So funny. And like the Sag one, and then because I'm a rising Gemini, so the Gemini whole TED Talk thing, I was like, that's legit me. Then obviously the Sagittarius, and then my whatever the house is that you like, your working house, whatever that one is Capricorn for me. So just like all three of those resonated, and like the emails he was sending of like, this hasn't been done. I'm like, that is fucking me.
Sorry, Shelby.
Legit. I'm nicer to Shelby than that. But anyway, she does deal with me. Deal being the key word. Anyway, that's Love is Blind. Any other comments on that?
No, basically just, I can't. I know that a lot of people like really loved it, but I'm sorry. Yeah, so many people loved it, but like, I'm sorry, guys. It's a no from me.
It's a no. It's a fucking no.
It's a fuck no.
I like The Bachelor and stuff, but that was just not a vibe whatsoever. Also, I think also for me, like twanging American accents really just kind of like crushed me a little bit. So having all the girls screaming at each other in like their twanginess just kind of makes me go, whoa, pause the TV. I need a fucking break.
Yeah.
I will say though, the American Bachelor, I watched it for like 1 second when I was skiing and nearly vomited because of how disgusting like the like attitude was from the women that were on the program. Like it was disgusting. So I had to turn it off because I felt physically violently fucking ill from watching that show for like 1 second. It was not a vibe. The bitchiness between them and just the way they acted, it was so fake that I actually was just like, what are you doing? Like it was like embarrassing for them. Anywho, okay. So I wrote down, we wanted to talk about authentic business, copying people's work, and authentic coaches.
Yes. Oh my God, you are right up my alley right now.
Babe, we're always well down the same alley. We're always together.
I cannot. Okay, why don't you start the conversation, because you know that I will just take it where maybe it's not ready to go.
Okay, so I feel like right now is a beautiful time what's happening in business, because we're really seeing people's true colors of the way they run their business, the way they shop with their clients, their just like their energy, their authenticity, whether they really have a heart-centered business or whether it's kind of driven a little bit by ego. Especially when it comes to money and contracts and whatnot. So I've been hearing of some coaches that have been like pressuring people into finishing contracts and payments, even though they've been laid off their job and whatnot. And I even had an example. I haven't had any real cases, but I did have an example yesterday. And one of the girls in my mastermind had been a little bit quiet. And I was like, let me just check in with her. So I sent her a message and I was just like, is everything okay? And she actually was like, I actually have to be really honest, like, no, everything's not okay. I've lost my job because she works at a preschool. Like, obviously the classic story with what's happening in Corona. She's like, I can't afford the payments. I feel so bad. Like, I'm not going to come to any of the calls. Like, I have to stop the mastermind. And obviously my heart was breaking for her. And in that moment, like, there was two options, right? Be like, well, you signed a contract. You have to keep paying. But like, is that actually going to create a good taste in her mouth? Is she then going to say like Monica is an amazing coach to somebody else? No. It's going to piss her off so much more. So instead, for an example, what I said to her was like, I'm so sorry and I completely sympathize with you. Let's do this. Let's pause your payments and pause the mastermind, and I will check in with you come like June when things settle down again, and or you can like tell me earlier, and once you have your income back, we can restart your payment plan, and then I'll send you the rest of the mastermind videos and we can do our one-on-one. And she replied being like, I'm crying. Thank you so much. I was feeling so bad and so stressed because I really want to finish it. And she was someone that really, really needed it as well. And I was saying this to some girls the other night in one of my circles. You don't need to start offering all of your content for free or start to give free shit to everybody. Like, that's not what we're saying whatsoever. An example just there, that's not what I'm doing by any means. I'm not, putting pity on people. I'm just being really flexible and understanding. And I'm hearing some stories of coaches through friends that are in other coaching groups and whatnot, of people saying like, oh my God, people wanting to pull out of contracts, like I'm so stressed out, X, Y, and Z. And it's just really interesting because the way these people run their business is they think it's from soul, but it's kind of obvious it's kind of from ego, and they do a very good job of painting a picture of their business doing, and I've had clients like this in the past, to be really honest, where they paint a picture of their business doing so fucking well on Instagram in terms of monetarily. Like, I've made 6 figures this year, X, Y, and Z, but I actually know from behind the scenes, they actually don't have much in the bank and they don't really save and they just spend. Or they're saying, I had a 70K month, but what that actually means is they've had a 70K, I think they call it sales month. So you've made 70K worth of sales, but you've only plan. Yeah, their payment plan. So, there's maybe you've maybe had 10K in the bank that month and the 70K is going to kind of come into the bank for the rest of the year. So it's just a little bit
misleading.
I think that's the word. Thank you. It's a bit misleading,
and I also
because
feel like
then
it's a bit gaslighty as well. Like, it's
I don't really know what gaslighting is because it's a new fucking term. I don't get those terms. What does gaslighting mean again?
I just feel like it was the right word to use. It was just like blow it up and like make it like really like pow. But really at the end of the day, it's actually not that at all.
No.
So guys, you're probably going to message us and be like, that's not what gaslighting means and I don't really care, but that's what we're going
I think
right
actually
now.
Gaslighting might be like manipulation or something. Hold on a second. Let me actually go.
Manipulation.
Gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation. Yeah.
Boom. There you go.
Where it's, where a group sows seeds of doubt in a target individual. Whatever. Point being is that they put out like, this is what my business is doing, so much money I'm making. And then people hire them because
people see that because they want, like, they see that as like, oh my God, I want my business to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, business is a progression. Business isn't you just all of a sudden hiring a coach and now making 30K in a day. Business and your coaching and anything that you do is a progression. And if you think that you're going to start to turn over 20K in a day and you think that's going to be longevity straight off the bat, I don't want to speak this over you, but there is so many more lessons and so much more juice behind that as opposed to thinking it's all about the money.
And I always say to my clients, like, we are here, and I only have clients that are here for the long run. Like I was saying the other
100%.
night to the girls right in the circle about just the whole like Corona time and how to like pivot your business and whatnot instead of pause it. And I was really reiterating, now's not the time for you to be like, gotta make money. Like obviously, yes, you still have to make money, but now's the time of actually being like, how can I do things right now that will allow my business to be so sustainable that come October, I have people lining up at my door ready to pay me because I have supported them so much through the time of Corona. That's what I'm talking about with authentic business. And it's kind of great right now because we're definitely seeing true colors of just people also in general. Like even the example of the Airbnb chick in New York with my apartment being an absolute cow and just basically like ignoring all my emails, not giving a refund, and Airbnb is trying to get to her and she's blaming me now. What does she claim? She claimed property damage and there's no fucking property damage. Yeah. Just like all these things. And I'm like, you know, this just shows your level of
audacity.
This just shows a level of greed. So it only makes me want the money more because I'm like, I do not want my money that has such good energy around it in your fucking bank account. Give me my money back kind of thing. She like that's been an example of that. So I just feel like there's a lot of people's true colors are really being shown during this time of how they're showing up for service or how they're not showing up for service.
Totally. And one thing that I really also want to make mention is this is a time where you guys can really, if you feel called to learn more about new modalities or learn more about your business or whatever it is that you're wanting to do for yourself, but just because you're learning about it does not mean that you are embodied in it.
Thank you very much, Britt, for saying that for me.
Just because you're learning does not mean you are embodied. Embodiment comes after activation, expansion, and then embodiment. And if you try and tell me that you're a coach after seeing a coach, or you're a kinesiologist after seeing a kinesiologist, or you've gotten 10 massages, I'm now a massage therapist. Excuse me. The door is to my left.
Or you do one breathwork class and now you claim that you can do breathwork with your clients. No. And also like, let's just be really honest with yourself. Like, does that feel good to have gone to one breathwork class with not the intention of I'm going to do this for me, but actually I'm going to take. So for example, I did my breathwork class, right? And it's $22 and it was it was a good faith. Like I want to do this at a really low cost for all the women, and actually like fucking hurts in my heart right now, just even saying this. And for people to call for, if you were to come to that and you have been greedy, actually is what you've done. You've been greedy and you've taken away from the class, not your own transformation, but the idea that your ego has taken away the idea that I've attended one breathwork class, therefore I can now teach breathwork.
Yeah.
No
way.
Sorry.
You're
no,
actually taking out the sacredness. You're taking out the sacredness of everything. And I've said this, do you remember when we were in Byron, I was saying how I would love to do, I really want to do yoni massage because everything that I do in my healing is really intuitive, and I've I've taught myself everything I know because I'm really in tune and connected when it comes to the body. Yeah. But then when it came to that, I'm like, I can't go there because that would be me really disrespecting the sacredness of this work. And that was a boundary that, and I've been trying to search for someone to teach me, but it hasn't happened. So it's just showing me that maybe it's not meant to be. But it's just like, you can have an idea and go get something done and feel like, oh my God, I want to do this. Okay, do it, but actually go and study it to the depth that you need to do to be able to be a proper facilitator.
Go get a teacher. Like go hire a teacher. That's what I did. I hired my Reiki chick as a teacher. She checked with her teacher that she could do that with me. And that's how I started to learn Reiki, and how I started to do past life regression was I was being taught by someone that has so many years behind them of doing this shit before I had times when clients would tell me about things, about like visions or past life things. And I would say to them, you know what, I'm going to send you to my teacher because I'm not quite at that level yet of past life regression. That is a very intense past life and I don't want to make things worse for you. So here's her number. I'm going to talk to her after and she'll reach out to you and you can book in a session with her and then let me know once you've done that and then we'll come back to our next session.
Yeah. 100%. And you know what? When you start to unleash things in people, like especially like if it was breath work or a healing or a body work session, whatever it is, you need to know how to be able to hold that space.
Yeah.
Because you're either going to anchor someone in that or you're going to help someone pull through it.
Exactly. It's so important. And
it's such a fine line.
Yeah, even with breath work as well. It's like if you've never really like, okay, so if you came to a class with the intention of I'm going to just like take things from this so I can do it with my clients, you haven't fully been present for yourself. So then if you haven't experienced it for yourself, how the fuck do you think you can teach somebody else? Like this is why even in my certification, how I was doing the in-person component and that I've got calls in there where I'm taking the women through modalities, because if they haven't experienced the modalities for themselves, how the fuck can I expect them to take somebody else through them? Because they have to have done it themselves to kind of know what it feels like. So if a client is like, oh, I'm feeling really trapped right now, they're like, it's okay, keep breathing, you're fine, because they've experienced the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
that. Let us leave that there. Let us park that there. Guys, you do it once does not mean that you were embodied in whatever it is.
Yeah.
True embodiment.
We're just calling out the bullshit, basically.
Yeah, exactly. True embodiment is when you live and breathe it and allow your own transformation.
Yeah. And also like don't copy people's sales pages.
Please.
It's just like, again, why like it's not as magnetic. This is the thing. It's not because like it hurts my ego. Like it's actually for your sake. It's not false. Magnetic.
No,
it's
you're
like
selling someone else.
Yeah, and so if you're writing down like we do this in this module and you don't even know how to fucking do it, like, and you're asking people for money, that is kind of fraud. Could you call that fraud? Like you're pretending to be something or you're pretending to offer something that you actually can't offer.
Well, I wouldn't say it would be fraud. It just would be in lack of integrity because they think that they can offer it, but they can't. And then when push comes to shove, it's just a lack of integrity.
And like, that's not very, that would be stressful for you. Like imagine if a client then said like,
oh my God,
hey,
imagine that pressure on yourself.
I know.
Someone has joined a certain program to get a certain thing out of it and you can't even hold it.
I know. And like, imagine if a client was like, oh, on the sales page, you said we were going to do like, let's say, like womb clearing. Like, how do we do that? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, you don't like what the fuck would you say in that scenario if you've taken someone else's shit? It blows my mind. I think it's right now because there's no board in coaching. So there's no like laws around it yet because it's such a new industry that people are thinking it's okay to copy. But it's like, you wouldn't copy a lawyer. So why the fuck are you copying a coach? Like this is still a serious industry.
Totally. It really is.
Yeah.
But the way I see it is if you haven't, like I've said this to you before, if you haven't given yourself that your own transformation, you cannot lead anyone else through theirs. Like simple.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
I make sure that before I take a client through a modality, I've practiced so much. Like for example, maybe like a good way to describe it is like you should be able to, actually this is kind of it, you should be able to like have all modalities memorized in your head basically, and then you should be able to blend modalities intuitively based on what the client needs. So like I always will be on a call and I'll start off doing some sort of NLP modality and then I'll blend it with energetic healing and then blend it with fucking perspective swapping and womb activation, and it becomes something else. But I can do that because I'm so knowledgeable about each modality, and then that creates even better results. I'm not looking at some fucking script. I'm not trying to remember the perfect way to do a modality written from a fucking book. I've done it so many times and I'm able to mold it to the client's needs.
Definitely.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. The only thing with like that is like with someone like me who's very different, obviously, to you. Like I understand the need for like a more of a straight across the board, like everyone knows what they're doing and what you're capable of, so to speak. But then it's just like people like me who just completely channel everything. then it's a bit difficult.
I feel, see,
like, where's the line?
Yeah, okay, this is where I feel like we need to have a board, because like your channeling is super authentic, and it could be as simple as like on Goop Lab, you know how they were testing like mediums, and they would do like a double blind test. Like, we don't know how it could be, but I feel like for even your sake, Britt, like there are people out there that say they can channel when they kind of fucking can't, or they say they're psychic when they can't, they make shit up. And so then for your sake, you need to be protected as well, because people, you know, people just claim random shit.
Yeah. Actually, can we just talk about this for a second?
Yeah.
When it comes to like psychicness, or when it comes to you being able to channel, or you actually asking to receive messages and you want to be channeled, the thing is, number one, you have to make sure that you want to hear whatever is going to come through, because channel isn't always going to be beautiful rainbows, unicorns, stars shine, like, oh my God, here's $1 million. Like, channel, to me, especially when I'm with my clients, it's like, this is everything that you're not looking at. This is all of your shadow. I feel it and I'm pulling it out. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. And the fact of the matter is, if you want me to just be like a yes woman to you, or tell you what it is that
fucking woman,
I'm the wrong woman for you. But if you find someone that's a channeler that does that, they're the wrong person for you as well, because that's not expansive. And the thing is, with channel, or even with coaching, with anything, it's here to pull you up to your highest good. It's not to keep you where you are. And the thing is, you need to be so aware that you want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that in itself is healing. And then that's when you start to unlock something. I've had so many people over the course of just the last 6 months, and they'd be so triggered by something that has come through, but it came through for a reason. But it's your own ego, your own perception of not allowing it to land. And then I've had other people turn around and tell me, well, that didn't happen. It's like, oh, well, that's interesting. I wonder why. But then, and then people then impart blame to me, right? I'm calling out a lot of the shadow stuff that is around like what I do, being so transparent. But it's just like, no, it's not it at all.
And I can say that you've always been right. Even, for example, when I was really sick and you sent me a message and I woke up to it and you were like, hey, babe, I don't mean to alarm you, but I was just channeling, or you were practicing something and I came through really strong.
I wasn't doing anything. It just came through.
It just came through like, you need medical attention, and it's definitely scared me. And I think that was the day that I woke up and it was my good day. And I was like, no, I'm better. Like, no need to worry. Like, I feel $1 million. I like exercised, did a pile of work. I was like fucking vibing, right? And I was like on Instagram, guys, I feel better. Like, anyway, and then the next day I fucking died again. And you were right. I got to a point where I filled in that online survey from like one of the online doctor centers in London, and they said you need to call an ambulance. Like, it was pretty bad. And obviously I went on antibiotics because I was like, I'm not going to the hospital by myself. So I went on antibiotics and that really helped, but I have to do another course of antibiotics. And, you know, I was talking to my one of my mentors last night, and she was like channeling for me. And she was like, what I see is like, you were like touching cotton. It was like you were squished between two boulders and you just slid through, in terms of like some seriously bad health things about to happen. And I said that to you, and like, yeah, you've always been right. Like, for me, you've always been right. And
whether or not you wanted to hear it or not, but yes.
Yes. And I think also what's important in that is, I think you've also always been right, because like, I'm obviously so connected and so psychic and whatever, but so therefore I really choose to honor what you're saying. And when you say something that I maybe don't want to hear, even the medical thing, I'm like, I don't want to hear that, but like, I'm going to take it on board. Do you know what I mean? Like, and yes, you'll say like, Monica, cancel your clients. And I'll be like, no.
But jokes.
There'll also be a part of me that will be like, I need to listen to what Britt is saying. right? So especially when you're sick, because I can't channel as well when I'm sick, obviously. Nobody can.
But the thing is as well, you don't always have to take – it doesn't matter who you come across as a channeler. It doesn't matter who you come across as a tarot reader. You do not need to take everything as gospel. You make it your own information and you do with it as you wish. Yeah. I'm only here to show you, or other channelers are only here to show you what it is that you need to look at and what it is that you need to really bring forth to allow that space for you to actually be in that next level, because that's all we want for you. We're working with your higher self.
Exactly.
So your higher self wants this. Yeah. And if I tell you, don't have sex with X, Y, Z or whatever, it's like, listen to me.
I always say when I'm channeling with somebody, I always say, like, their eyes are closed, and I always say when I say things, whatever pops into your head straight away in regards to what I've said is like correct. Take that, and anything that doesn't resonate, just write it down, and you can put it aside for maybe later. But if it doesn't resonate, do not worry about it, kind of thing.
Totally. Right? Something just popped up. So I remember in the early days, I did this channeling for...
In the early days,
I did this channeling for this chick, and it resonated big time. And she was like, oh, my God, that's so on point. And then she showed her friend, and her friend turned around and goes, well, that's something that's almost like for everyone.
Oh.
No. This is what you need to know. A good channeler will make it almost a universal message, because if you need to hear it, it's going to be something that you need to take on. There's still specifics in everything. Like I know I'm able to channel like what your freaking work is without even knowing a damn thing about you. But the thing is, the messages or what comes through, they're good because they're universal. Because it's for the masses. It's for the collective. It's for you to reach into that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think I understand what you're saying, and I totally yes to that. What I try and do is I try and make it I'm a very visual person, so I'll really try and describe what I'm seeing. So even, for example, when I was doing it with someone else, it was like I was like, there's almost like these empty Russian dolls lining up behind you. I feel like you're in the middle of a highway. I still remember this picture. And there's like black behind you, like you've left it behind, these empty Russian dolls, like empty shells of yourself that you've healed. And she said she was crying, and she was like, oh my God, like something about like her grandma had just given her before she passed away these Russian dolls. And so that is like the specifics, but the universal message in that would have been, and everyone could tune into this, or most people could tune into, like leaving shells of themselves behind during Corona time so they can come out the best version of themselves.
100%. There is always a specificity, like you will always resonate so deeply because there's always something exactly for you. But if someone else listened to it, they'd get something from it, and that's what it's about.
And also, like, I mean, I always kind of also say to my clients, like, if you've got a friend or a relative or whatever that doesn't fully get the psychic channeling stuff and they think it's bullshit, you have no obligation to tell them about it or show them it, because you don't want, like, they
don't have to prove anything.
That's okay. They don't have to believe in it or whatever. Well, that's not really a belief thing. It's just like a fucking fact. Lol. But what's really important is, like, you don't have to prove anything to them, and they don't have to validate your desire to want to get this kind of guidance whatsoever. Because I'm kind of at a point, I was saying this to a friend yesterday, I'm kind of at a point where I've done all the coaching and a lot of the deep healing stuff. I'm now someone that's wanting to work with intuitives and psychics to see what the future holds and how I can make sure that I get there without basically burning out and getting fucking sick every month. And like what I want to find out what I'm really not seeing that's blocking me from from an even higher version of myself. So I just feel like it's important to also address, like, that if your family isn't into this sort of stuff, that doesn't mean that you don't have to be. You do not need to tell them about it or show them about it, because you don't want them implanting fear into your mind and making you second guess, because you do not need to second guess this shit. I used to second guess, and it was only when the first time I heard a name, I was doing past life regression, and I heard a name that someone called me that I'd never heard the word before. and it was cool. It was Jezebel, right? I think I'm going to message you about it. It was in Mount Aspen. It was Jezebel. And I said to my coach, I was like, what the fuck's a Jezebel? And she was like, oh my God. And she was like, Google it, Monica. So I Googled, and it was like a prostitute witch type of person. And that to me was like that moment of like, holy fuck, all these words and all these messages that have come through my head since I was a little girl is not me talking to myself. It's not, I used to think that God was talking to me. It's not me talking to myself and me being crazy. It's actually me getting messages. And so I feel like for a lot of us, sometimes in order to really believe, we have to have either a channeling session with somebody where they pull out specifics and you're like, how the fuck did you know that? So your mind to be a bit blown, because that's what really helped me, for my mind to be a little bit
through.
For my mind to be blown, and then to be like, okay, this shit is fucking real.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember the first time I had a psychic session with my psychic, and she was like, are you very fiery? Because I'm just seeing you on top of a mountain with like just rings of fire around you. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. She knew nothing about me at all. And I was like, okay, I like this woman.
I love that so much.
Anyway, what else?
I don't know. I wanted to say something, but I completely forgot now. So anyway,
remember it, bitch. Oh my God, you titled your name Bitch Tits.
Yeah, mate.
I actually have looked at that multiple times, but it didn't fully register until now. I think because I'm used to you being bitch tits.
Just always saying bitch tits. It was so funny because I was, I had a coffee Zoom date with Asty last week. Yeah. And I was like, jump on in like 10 minutes, bitch tits. And then she jumped on and like wrote that she was bitch tits. I'm like, what is this?
Oh my God. So you both had bitch tits. That's so funny. Bitch tits 1, bitch tits 2.
B1 and B2.
Oh my God, of course. I need to change my name in your phone to Bitch Tits.
Yeah, that would be great.
It's kind of insulting that it's just Britt right now.
That's so insulting.
Yeah. What's my
name? I'm mortified. Well, what is yours at the moment?
Yours has a crystal and like that gemstone thing and the witchy like psychic thing behind it.
Yours is, well.
Oh my God, we're the same. I love how we have the same emojis. Yes, that blue crystal-y thing and the witchy like whatever
the crystal ball.
Crystal ball, thank you. Oh my God, that is so fucking weird. Oh man.
But also not even surprised.
We are so in tune. Like what was it yesterday we were talking about? We were texting and you were like, I was just about to fucking say that. Brit tits. I mean Brit tits. Bitch tits, not Brit tits.
Yeah, mate, it's Brittany Biatch.
Oh, no, I said butch. Bitch. You have butch tits.
Yeah, thanks.
Bitch tits. I can't get my words right. What? Oh, my God. I opened the back of your contact. It has the picture of my throat.
Your tonsils. Ugh. So feral.
What was it that we said yesterday? Sorry, having 3 convos at once because we were talking about sex. Oh, someone's phoning me. Just decline that.
No, you were talking about sex, work, and productivity, and I was just like,
"Oh yeah, we had 3 different conversations. That's classic me, though. Was it you I was on the phone with, or was it somebody else?" And I'll be like, "Okay, how are you?" And then you just like, "Was it you?"
Yeah, and I was just like, "Of course, you're a million miles an hour."
Yeah, and I don't like. I think it was you, and you were like. No, maybe it was Olivia. I think it might have been Olivia. We were talking and she's like, how are you? And I'll go on my rant and I'm like, yeah, like, it's okay, but this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, anyway, how are you? And she just burst out laughing because she was like, I love how you like won't even give yourself breathing space to like digest that. It's just like, boom, how are you? Like, had my moment, how are you? Pivot.
And you, et toi?
Literally, legit. So fucking fiery, man. I need to make sure that I don't conceive a child in March or I'm going to have fucking Sag babies and I just don't know if I can do that.
I think you could deal with maybe a Libran.
Yeah, not a Cancer.
No, not a Cancer.
Definitely not a Cancer.
Actually,
yeah.
Oh, wait, go on.
I saw something and it was like Cancers and Sages are good mixers and I'm like, that's fucking factually incorrect.
That's a lie. That's a straight up
fucking lie. And that's a lie. I've tried. It doesn't work.
Like fraud. Basically,
what?
That's fraud.
That's fraud. That's incorrect information.
But actually what I wanted to talk about is, speaking of fire, because I'm in Aries, which means it's my birthday month.
Yes, and happy birthday.
Thanks. It's not until next Saturday. But anyway,
okay.
It's really sad because I can't do anything for my birthday.
And as a fire sign, that fucking breaks our hearts.
Girl, I'm okay. Whoever follows me, you already know this, but I am a sun, far out, fire sun, fire moon, and air rising. So I'm Aries, Leo, Libra, and that's extra as fuck. And
we have the same combo, don't we? Because I'm Gemini rising, which is air.
Yeah,
and then I'm Sag, and moon and sun are both Sag.
Yeah. So we're double fire air. And I just was like, I want to have the juiciest of margaritas for my birthday with all of my friends and just get so freaking lit.
Can we get drunk via Zoom?
Yeah, we're going to have to. You'll have to like order some, I don't know what even the ingredients are to margaritas, but we need them. So
let's
we'll all have
make
like
margaritas. Yeah, let's make margaritas and we'll sit down on a big Zoom call and we can all like dance and just like get really drunk. It'd actually be quite funny. Imagine if we were all pissed, and I'd be pissed at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I was about to say, you'll be pissed at 9 a.m. in the morning.
That is going to be amazing. I'm so here for this. Yes, count me fucking. I will go and buy a bottle of Casamigos.
Wait, guys. Can I just say how much Monica has changed? It was only about 8 months ago that she would only, like, we would go out and order margaritas and she would order herself a non-alcoholic cocktail.
Seriously, I used to hate being hungover, and now I've just figured out the perfect hangover cure. And I've realized for me, like, so wine, I've drunk wine a few times in the past couple of months and it makes me quite hungover. And I feel super disgusting. Even just from one glass, I feel
like hot. Like
I feel terrible the next day. But I can drink a bit of tequila, and as long as I have my hangover cure, I've actually realized it's fine. What I've actually realized that what I've realized with my little like just trialing it since, when did I start really drinking again? I started really drinking again like January. And what I've realized is I would say December, January, is that if I drink in really good energy, then I don't really get hungover. But if I drink like for the sake of drinking, if I don't want to, I'll get hungover. So I just kind of really monitor. It's like, do I want to drink? Do I not want to drink? And then as long as I actually want to drink, I have a good time. And tequila, I don't feel shit the next day, especially Casamigos because it's really good quality. That also makes a big difference.
It's always having a good quality of everything is a good, like such a difference. It's just like having a good quality coach and a channeler. It makes all the difference.
We definitely are doing margaritas, and I will get drunk at 9 a.m. in the morning just for you.
Oh my God.
It's going to need to be.
It'll have to be.
If it's Saturday night, Saturday morning, that's okay.
Okay, because it is like my birthday is next Saturday, so it'll be next Saturday night.
Because I can't do a Friday morning. I can't then get on with clients after having like 3 margaritas.
I wouldn't want to put that like kind of bullshit.
I don't do that. But otherwise, it's really good once. I should actually share my hangover cure. People are going to want to know, obviously. I've really, really nailed it. So obviously water is really important. Magnesium glycinate, like lots of it. Vitamin C, activated B vitamins. Have a little bit of fat before you go to bed, like a spoonful of almond butter or whatever, it like gets your liver going. L-tyrosine, gut right from ATP, turmeric, fucking key, turmeric, and I think that's everything.
Okay, so that was like the most Monica-esque hangover cure I've ever heard of. Guys, I tell you what I do. I just drink a glass of water before I go to bed and have a huge glass of water next to my bed and then tell myself to harden the fuck up, and then we're good to go.
I don't like feeling hungover. I will not drink if I'm afraid of. Seriously, my biggest fear is actually being hungover. If I'm afraid of being hungover, I like can't drink. I'm too scared. So it's
okay. Okay, can I tell you my worst hangover story ever?
Please.
It was when I used to live in Canada. And
oh my God, me too. What is it about fucking Canada? Seriously.
It's the altitude, because I started working for this place, and they're just like, in our induction, they literally spent quite a bit of time just saying, guys, just make sure if you are going to start drinking here, only give yourself 2 drinks. Start to ease yourself into it, because I kid you not, your hangovers the next day will be the worst thing in the world. Anyway, I met this chick. We went out for dinner and we had like the most nicest dinner. We shared a bottle of wine and then we went over to the staff pub and we got like maybe 2 beers. We were plastered.
Oh,
so
cheap,
plastered.
Though, which is good.
Okay, maybe a little bit. But anyway, the next morning, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Like, I actually thought I was going to die. And I had no food at my home because I just moved into this unit and the closest town was 45 minutes away. I had nothing. And so I had to go to the staff kitchen, to the staff, I don't know, we called it the bean. Yeah. And the whole way that I was walking over there, I had a T-shirt that was touching my neck and just the feeling of the T-shirt was making me need to vomit. And I was like having to pull it away from me as I was like walking up the stairs. And because of the altitude, it just dehydrates you so much.
It's so bad, yeah.
You just have so much more alcohol in your blood. And
fuck.
Like even walking up 2 stairs was like, this is how I die. Like,
yeah,
take me. I'm done. It was horrible. And then, it was just horrendous. So, guys, if you go to Canada or anywhere high altitude, just be aware of that when it comes to drinking.
Hangovers are bad, like high altitude. Yeah, you know what, for me, it's like when I would drink, even when I was in Aspen and I would go out for a few drinks, like if because of the altitude and whatnot and the dehydration, the next day, like we'd all be on the chairlift going up and we'd actually be like, let's just put this bar down because our balance isn't up to scratch right now. And as you're skiing, it's fucking scary skiing when you're hungover because like your really balance is off, like you're not as fast with your reaction. No, you know what's even fucking scarier? Going up to one of the bars at the top of the mountain, having a few glasses of Verve, which is like champagne, and then skiing down the mountain a little bit tipsy. Dumbest thing. And like I basically straight lined the whole way down. I actually thought I was going to fucking die.
Oh my God.
It was so fucking ridiculous. Anyway, my worst hangover would probably be either a U12 time that I can't even remember because it was so traumatic, or
suppressed that one.
Literally suppressed that. There was a couple times, actually, I would say there was one time, okay, this is a good story. There was one time in Canada where I was with my boyfriend. No, he wasn't my boyfriend yet, but then he became my boyfriend. And, so I made speaking of homemade pizzas, I made homemade pizzas for us, really good ones, right?
I don't know if anyone knows about the pizza story because you weren't recording before, so.
Oh, okay. So you
anyway,
okay, whatever. Okay, so I made these homemade pizzas and we then went to this, I said to, what was his name? Ed. I said to I can't remember my ex's name. I don't even remember. He blocked me on Facebook, so whatever. Okay. He said, I remember saying to him, well, at least we have leftovers for the next day. Like at least we have pizzas. And then we went, I drank a lot and like a lot of vodka. And then we went to this house party. All I can remember is like, I can vaguely remember arriving at this house party. And then I can vaguely remember sitting on the toilet. Don't ask me why. And we were at this house party and it was really fun. And I was obviously drunk off my fucking face. And someone slammed my fingers in the door and broke my fingers. And I didn't remember this until the next day. And then I remember someone handing me peas and I poured the peas all over my hands. There was peas everywhere. And then I was hysterically crying. I kind of vaguely remember crying a lot. And so Ed and my friends that were with me, because it was basically like all guys in this house. It was 3 women, 14 men, which I was all fucking about, obviously. And so they were all like, okay, let's just get Monica home. Like, she's fucking dying. And then somehow, I'm a size 10 in shoes, right? Somehow Ed fit my fucking feet into a size 6 shoes and got me home. We go to sleep. I remember nothing still. The next day we wake up. And I actually thought I was going to die. And I remember saying to him, well, at least we have pizza. And he was like, do you not remember last night, Monica? And I was like, no, what? And he was like, you came in and you were flicking all the lights on and off.
Disco.
Legit. That's what I was doing. Flicking all the lights on and off to try and make a disco. And then you went to the fridge and you took out the pizza and you started like ripping up all the pizza and eating bits of it and then just like throwing it.
You were an animal.
And then I like grabbed you and we just like went to bed. And so there's no pizza. And I remember just being like, what the fuck? Because I don't remember any of this. Like I remember none of it. This is all through a story. And then me and one of the girls in the house, we shared a bathroom. And we both were grog bog chicks, not vomit. So in the morning, it would be like a race to who would go to the toilet first and do their grog bog. The other person didn't have to like fucking substitute in it later. It was so much fun though. Like if I could go back and do those 3 months again, I would. It was the time of my fucking life. Seriously, that was the
I'm
best.
so happy for you and your grog bog.
I'm definitely a grog bog chick. I've never vomited, even though I've been so plastered so many times. I've never vomited.
So guys, this is Cacao Convos and it's for spiritual enlightenment.
And let's get really drunk on your birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously. Anyway, any last parting words? If you got that, any last parting? It's 11 a.m.
Sounded like Kermit the Frog.
Seriously, any last departing words for me, Britt? I had to wake up really early this morning at 9:30, so you know.
What time are you going to bed now, Monica?
So I tried to go to bed at 10 o'clock last night, and then I got very sidetracked, which you know about, and then. So that didn't end till like 11. And then I had to phone Madeline because she was like, please send me screenshots of like my conversation. And so sent her screenshots because like she also needed some action. And then I was talking to, and then I was trying to finish my client emails to send out their notes. And then we had a fucking blackout in like our area. And then of course me and my amazing survival skills, I'm like phoning dad and the fuse box wasn't working. I'm like, oh my God, there's no electricity. My phone's going to die soon. And then I was stressed about that and trying to like figure that out. And then I got to bed at 1 a.m. So yeah, I'm doing better. I got into bed at 10. Which is great, as opposed to getting into bed at 1.
Great intention. Love that.
There was like an intention there, but you know, a blackout happened, so I couldn't help that. But you know, I'm trying to not be so on the witching hour anymore.
Okay, well, respect. Yeah. Well done. You can have a nap today.
Yeah, I'm not tired. I'll be fine. I just need to I need to look after my throat today before I get these antibiotics again. Anyway,
definitely.
Any last departing words, bitch tits?
Yeah, actually, in this time of what's going on in the world, I just want everyone to really realize, and hopefully you can anchor into this and find a bit of safety, that this is all for a really beautiful reason. It's actually going to be a huge cleansing and a rebirth for how we do life again, and it's going to allow us to reprioritize what it is that's true to us. So in moments of you feeling fear, or if you're feeling really scared with what's going on, or maybe your reality is completely changing, I need you just to really know and trust that you're going to be okay. And that's all I'd like to say about that.
That's beautiful. That's really grounded.
Oh, really good. I love that.
Yeah, that was really nice. Thank you, Britt. That was like, we were on like such a high, as in like a good high, and you just like brought us down and closed us off. That was like
amazing. Such
a lovely message.
You're welcome. P.S. Find me on Instagram. It's bitch tits.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's not
yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. Oh my God. No, it's Brittany bitch.
It's Brittany biatch.
Yeah.
Well, guys, there was a really nice grounding message. So just like revert and just re-listen to that and then finish the podcast. But yeah, find me at it's.brittany.biatch.
Oh my God, you're so funny. I saw a picture of a dog cuddling a baby today, and I was just like, man, this makes me more. I sent it to my mum, and I was like, I said to mum, and I was like, Peanut would do this, like 1,000%. My cousin's having a baby, and I sent it to her, and I was like, could you please make sure that like,
yeah, I posted that today. It was like like brown teddy bear and a baby. Was like a dog.
Did I take that from yours? I probably did. I probably saw it from yours and then sent it to some friends.
You're welcome.
I sent it to my cousin. Yeah, no, thank you. And was like, I want your baby to be wrapped up in Peanut's arms, because like Peanut would actually do that. She's such a fucking love bug. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to have a baby. No, okay, I can wait to have a baby, but I can't wait to have a baby at the same time.
Feels.
You know what I mean?
Feels. You know what I mean. On that note,
goodbye, everyone. Okay.
So there is a sneak peek into my amazing friendship with Britt. And a lot of you guys asked like how I met my soul sisters. I've actually met every single soul sister online. So there is power in meeting people online, and I am not against it. I think you can get all the vibes through online, and yeah, that's it. Like, I have some of my greatest friends I haven't even met in real life yet, which is amazing. So the vibes are there even through the phone, especially when the two of you are just decent, fucking amazing human beings. I hope that you loved that episode because I fucking loved it. It was just like fucking hilarious. Please share it and tag both Britt and I in it so we can both repost it and say thank you. And don't forget to check out all the links in the description of joining MMM, Magic Money Manifestation, for all of your magic money manifestation needs. Level 1 is that intro with like healing all of your shit around money and learning how to manifest. And then level 2 is that next level of, once you've grasped all of that, hitting those next level manifestations, taking you up and up and up in money, in vibes, and in all the goodness. Queen Alchemy, the next round is starting, I think, July. Same with Baba. Baba intake actually starts in June. So make sure that you're on the wait list for these things so you don't miss out, because when you guys send me messages being like, oh, I missed out, it's like, well, I do notify you guys. So please make sure that you're on these wait lists and that you like favorite or like star or whatever, however the fuck you do it, my inbox, not my inbox, my email, so you actually get the updates. And any questions, send us an email, hello@monicayates.com.au, and Sarah will get back to you.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you got lots of chicken nuggets out of today's episode. I would be really, really grateful if you'd be able to leave me a review and a star rating that you think is appropriate, hopefully 5. And if you could share this podcast so that I can help more women live a life of flow and ease, I would be so fucking grateful. Make sure you tag me in it on Instagram so I can personally thank you, because I know so many of my clients have found me literally because their friends have posted about my podcast on their Instagram story. And I just want to help as many women as possible. So by you sharing it, I would be so fucking grateful, and I'm sure your friends would be too. If you do want to welcome me, please do check out my website for all those details. And of course, you can DM me on Instagram with any other questions. If you have any podcast things you want me to talk about, any ideas, any feedback, I am always open to it, and I always love hearing what you guys have to say. So please don't hesitate about that either. I will catch you on the flip side. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are.